So there's this sound coming out of Mexico right now. It's raw, it's unapologetic, and it's painting this really vivid picture of a life that, most of us will never experience. It's a sound that talks about survival, about loyalty, and this constant dance with danger. But here's the thing. Is it just a story, or is it something more? Let's dive into the two very different realities of the artist known as El Makabelico. This one line from his song Por la Calle, this is where we have to start. I'm content with getting home alive. I mean, just think about that for a second. That's a heavy statement. It really captures that feeling of just making it through one more day. And it immediately makes you wonder, who is the person writing these lyrics? Is he some kind of poet of the streets, just documenting a really harsh reality? Or is there another story here entirely? To figure that out, well, we have to start with his own words. Okay, so first section, the voice of the street. Because to even start to understand the accusations against him, we have to begin with the art itself, the world that El Makabelico is actually painting in his music. And when you listen, his lyrics really circle around these core themes. He's talking about street life and survival, this idea of constantly being out there. Loyalty is huge for him. But all of it is kind of underpinned by this deep sense of fatalism, this acceptance that, hey, life is going to end one day anyway. It's this complex self-portrait of defiance in a world that feels like total chaos. So here's the crucial point. If we only look at his lyrics, the picture that comes into focus is of a man just trying to navigate a chaotic world. He's documenting a struggle, he's showing his will to survive, and he's expressing this simple but profound desire, just to get home alive. But this is only one side of the story. And this is where our whole perspective is forced to shift. Because another source describes El Makabelico not as an artist documenting reality, but as a direct participant in a very different one. Terrorist. This one word, it changes everything. It's a really jarring accusation that stands in complete opposition to the artist we just met through his music. And the allegations, they're specific and they're severe. The source claims he's not just kind of near it, but directly involved with the Cartel Del Noreste. He's labeled a criminal and a terrorist. And the source is very explicit, saying his message and his behavior should absolutely not be condoned. And this leads to a critical question about his art itself. All right, let's look at how these two narratives, the artist and the accused, get connected. The central claim here is that his music isn't just entertainment or social commentary. It's actually a tool, right? So the accusation is that his songs serve a purpose for the Cartel Del Noreste, that every verse, every chorus is actually designed to be a form of propaganda, to glorify a lifestyle, maybe to recruit, to build this whole mythos around the organization. And this right here illustrates the conflict perfectly. On one side, you have a lyric about loyalty. Those in my crew are on point. In the song, that could just be about close friends watching each other's backs, right? But when you look at it through the lens of the accusation, that exact same line becomes a statement of operational readiness for a cartel. The art and the alleged crime become totally inseparable. So what we're left with are two completely irreconcilable portraits of one person. Let's actually put them side by side to really get a grasp on the difference here. Okay, on the left, you see the artist's voice. It's a story of survival, of loyalty, and that simple desire to get home alive. But then you look at the right, and every single one of those artistic points gets reframed as something sinister. A life of survival becomes the life of a criminal. Loyalty to crew becomes involved with Cartel Del Noreste. And the very act of writing music is labeled propaganda. It's just two completely different realities, and they're centered on the same person. And that leaves us right here, This isn't just about one artist or one song anymore. It pushes us to ask a much bigger question. Where is that line? When does art stop just reflecting a violent reality and start actively promoting it? It's a question with no easy answer, and in the case of El Makabelico, it's a question where your conclusion really depends entirely on which story you believe.